sometimes. Well, on the days I ain't working and I ain't doing nothing, I call my daddy every day, man, and I just listen to him talk. And a lot of people say, man, you learn a lot if you learn how to listen. And my daddy told me this goddamn 2 weeks ago. He said somebody came to him and said, hey, man, do you be listening to your son? He told him, hell no, I don't listen to shit. He said, I can't listen to that motherfucker. And he telling me this, like he can't listen to me. And like I say, I ain't gonna get into where he was coming from or what his intent by that was telling me. But I say, yeah, daddy, I know that, man. I say I had to accept that a long time ago. That's why when I call you, I don't call to talk. I just call to listen to you. I say, because I feel like as your son, I feel like you need somebody to listen to. And I might be all you got, so I call you to give me all you got. I say, but just know, as much as I love listening to you and listen to you, I know you don't listen to me. It's enough people out there in this world that do that. You see what I'm saying? He kind of got quiet, you know what I mean? Like, so that was my way of saying, yeah, motherfucker, not talk. You know what I mean? So I call my daddy and I like listening to my daddy. And for lack of a better word, I always use hate. I say we got a love-hate relationship. And the hate part comes in when I'm listening to him sometimes. And I can hear where he's coming from. And because I love my daddy so much, I made it my own personal thing to understand where he's coming from. Somewhat to not always take everything personal, but to be able to see my daddy as a man sometimes and more than just as my daddy, because when I see my daddy as a man, that's when I truly get the jewels and lessons that he talking and giving to his son. You understand? So the other day we was having this conversation and he got to talking about who he was when he was younger. And it's just one of them conversations where it's like, I done heard this man life 50 goddamn times. But he'll tell me a scenario about his life like I ain't never heard this shit before. But I always listen because every time there's always an ounce of something different. And whatever that ounce of something different is in the story is a part of his growth at 67. Every time he tells the story, it's a piece of his growth that's going to change the story and give me a jewel that's a piece of my puzzle, right? This some real raw shit right here, right? And I'm saying this shit to myself. I ain't never said this a day in my life, right? So, the other day he was saying, yeah, when I was growing up, everybody knew who Charles Fort was. He said, goddamn, some people call me Charles Ford because they couldn't understand the difference between the T and the D. I said, oh shit, I ain't never heard this right here. Where you going with this, right? He said, but yeah, my whole life he said Charles Ford. Charles Ford. I was a bad motherfucker, son. So I said, what you mean Ford? He said, yeah. That's a lot of people call me Charles Ford. So he started getting into the names that he went by and the names that people knew him by, right? So I say, well, where the Forte come in at? Why they didn't call you Charles Forte? And this way the message got deep. This is some real shit. And I don't know if this message is more about integration, white people. I don't know what the fuck this message about, but this is a deep message. And if you in my Forte family, I want you to say something in the comments because this is some real raw shit, man, right here, right? But my last name Perry. That's my mama maiden name, Perry, right? And I got the name Perry because when I was born, my mom and daddy wasn't married. So for whatever reason, they put my mama last name on my birth certificate. And when they got married, like you say, a legend was that they got married when I was about 5 or 6. And I don't know, they didn't change it, and I ain't mad at nobody, right? Okay, so, but my daddy's last name is Forte. I'm going to say Forte for right now if you're listening. His last name is Forte. So You know, normally, naturally, I should be a Forte, but my last name Perry, right? So my daddy, I'm asking my daddy. I say, well, daddy, where the hell do Forte come from? He say, well, we got integrated when I was in the ninth grade, going to the ninth grade, right? So I said, yeah. He said, yeah. And when I went to school in the ninth grade, I started having the white teachers. And so the white teacher asked me, what's my name? And I told her, Charles Fort. And they spelled my name Forte. And she told me, she said, that ain't how you say your name. So I remember getting mad, like, how the hell you gonna tell me how to say my name? So she said, you pronounce your name Forte. It's not Fort, it's Forte. So he said, goddamn, that's what the white people started calling me every day in school. Forte, Forte. He said, so goddamn, I stopped fighting the white people and just said, fuck it, my name Charles Forte. That's what I started going by. I said, hold on, man. Now, and this is just real shit. Me talking to my daddy sometime, like I say, man, I ain't saying goddamn he be lying or none of that type of shit. Sometimes I don't believe what the hell he be saying. He's a wild guy, you know what I mean? But I hung up from my dad. I said, hold on, man. I'm going to hit you right back. He said, go ahead, right? So I called my Uncle Johnny. Now, my Uncle Johnny is my daddy's older brother. My daddy like 67, Johnny in his 70s, right? So I called my Uncle Johnny. I say, well, Uncle Johnny, let me ask you a question, man. I say, my daddy told me that y'all name ain't Forte. And the white people gave y'all that name, but that ain't what y'all name is. And he said he didn't know it. He said he didn't know it to the ninth grade, but before that, he never went by no Forte. So Johnny say, yeah, he ain't lying, but goddamn, ain't no teacher told him that shit. You know, Johnny, he had to talk shit about his little brother in some type of way. Nah, but he ain't lying. So I said, hold on, Johnny, what you mean? He said, yeah, when I went to the military, my name always been Fort. And my Uncle Johnny retired from the U.S. Postal Service. He said, when I retired, they called me Johnny Fort. I said, well, wait a Forte. He said, like you say, when integration came in, them white people wanted to tell us how to pronounce our name. And it didn't work on the older ones. All my family from Waysboro, my daddy, my grandmama, all of us, we knew our name. We was Fort. We ain't know nothing about no goddamn Forte shit. So he said, but the more and more integration started happening, and the more and more the white people got a hold to our younger family, they changed our name to Forte. And I just got so tired of correcting that shit and fighting that shit that I just let it be. So I said, you mean to tell me our name ain't no goddamn Forte? Hey, look, he said, hell no, it ain't no Forte. I ain't never been no Forte. I'm a Fort. He said, one of my aunts, daddy's sister, before she died, she was old. She was about 100 when she died. She came to Family Union and expressed that she don't know how they changed our name. So here we are in 2022, man, with the pride of being the Forte family. I done saw, well, other white folk all over the world, Forte, all these people unified in Forte. But then I talked to my daddy and his brother and tell me 60 years ago, we ain't go by no goddamn Forte. We went by Fort. But integration brought in a whole new name change. A whole new name change that done made us forget who the fuck we is. We some Forts. We are some Forts. And we let white people make us Fortes. Now that sounds like some damn deep 300 years ago shit. Where they say, you don't know what your name is. No, man. This shit affected me and my family 60 years ago. Well, white lady sold my daddy in school, who was in the ninth grade, You saying your name wrong your whole life. And somehow, somewhere, he went home. And them teachers and whoever else doing integration convinced the mamas at home and every goddamn body, say your name this way for the rest of your life. Man, that's some deep ass shit, ain't it, man? I don't know if I'm making that shit sound deep, but that's some deep shit, man. So all my Forte family, and and y'all go check this. Y'all might say, well, what the hell you talking about? Go ask your daddy. Go ask your grandmama. Go ask somebody. And that's a whole nother thing, man. I want to tell my generation, man. Like I say, we are the grandchildren. We are the grandchildren, man, of a matriarch generation. And some of us have our grandparents. But some of our parents are hitting 60s in late 50s and early 70s. And there's a lot of things, man, that we can know about ourselves just by a simple conversation, man. And sometimes, like me, and it's a powerful thing for me to say this. Sometimes I call it throwing the alley. That's one of my gifts too, man. I'm a talking motherfucker, but I'm also a point guard in the conversation. I can throw the right alley to anybody to get them to jump for it and dunk that motherfucker, meaning tell their side of the story or speak their truth. So being able to call my daddy, man, and just throw alleys to him and having the spirit to just listen to him. Sometimes I say, man, this motherfucker crazy as hell. Even in those times, man, when I consider him to be talking crazy, there's always a lesson, man. There's always a lesson. Even if the lesson is, man, you got to be better than this. I understand what it is that I'm trying to better myself at. Because this is my daddy. And as much as I can say he crazy, see, I can say this. As much as I can say he crazy, as much as I can say what he ain't, as much as I can talk about my daddy faults. See, I want y'all to understand one thing. See, my daddy is a powerful motherfucking man. And my daddy raised me to be better than him. And when I say better than him, I'm saying in all of his ways of weakness, in all of his faults, he raised me to be better than him. He raised me to be strong where he weak. He done a hell of a motherfucking job. Now, as a son, see, I strive for his greatness. I strive for his strengths. So the love-hate relationship that I talk about in the father and the son, with me and my daddy, the hate comes in. The hate comes in the things that I watched him fight and battle and deal with that made me understand what it was, because I know those same weaknesses and battles and struggles are somewhat within me because they made me. So the hate comes when I see him goddamn beat on his wounds and rash out with me through his pain, but he don't even understand, man. Man, it's only because I love you that I even listen to this shit. You know what I mean? Something else he told me the other day. This is a deep message. I'm just going with the flow, right? I often sometimes have a crack in my heart, and this been 20-something years ago. Well, like I say, when it come to me playing football in school, I always used to feel like, man, I could have reached another level of potential or success if I felt like my daddy supported me and believed in me. So I always hold on to that like a broken child. And about a month ago, me and him was having a conversation, and it's just me listening to him talk, right? And this is what he told me. He said, yeah, man, yeah, you was good in a motherfucking football. He said, yeah, you used to turn it out in school. He said, but you wasn't all that good like goddamn no motherfucking Florida State. Duke and all the motherfuckers is gonna come look at you. You know, you would have turned it out in a black college. Yeah, I'll give you that, but you wasn't no goddamn, I ain't see you going no motherfucking NFL. And I'm listening to him, and he's saying it like, yeah, motherfucker. And I'm like, a part of me like, man, fuck you, man. What I was on my own fight. I could have been there if you'd have goddamn believed in me and didn't think that about me at the time when your damn son was motherfucking raw. Goddamn, one of my coaches just told me a little bit before that, he felt like I was one of those once in a lifetime athletes to get the coach. He can remember my last game like it was yesterday. I had a coach that done coached for 30 years tell me this, and then a month later, my daddy telling me, you wasn't all that, motherfucker. Like, god damn. But I'm just listening, right? I said, keep listening and see where he's going. He's saying, when I realized, yeah, he could have went to a black college. You could have went to one of them black colleges and turned it out. He said, but all them motherfuckers that go to them black colleges, they don't do nothing but come home broke up like a motherfucker, limping like a motherfucker, fucked all up, then they got to work and try to make it like the next motherfucker. And this is exactly the same way my daddy telling me. And I'm listening to it. Like, this motherfucker crazy. Then I got to thinking, man, I said, let me see where he coming from, just cause it got to be a lesson in it. And I started finding validation, man. Like you say, from his experiences, from his viewpoint. It's all them black college people do, man. Come on, limping like a motherfucker, man. Fucked up knees, fucked up ankles, fucked up injuries for life, and they be working. And then I go back into when I was 18, and I graduated, and I was heartbroken because I felt like I didn't have nobody that believed in my ability. Not only in football, but in academics too. I felt like I didn't have nobody that believed in me, man. I went back to what this man was saying and when he felt like this, and I felt how I felt in this shit. Like, damn, at 18, I felt like didn't nobody believe in me, right? But I still believed in myself enough to say, well, I ain't going to college. But like I say, 18, 19, 20, 21, you go to college for 3 years. I had a plan. I can say, man, I had a damn near career. I was the golden boy at the paper industry, bought my first home, had 2 luxury cars paid for. Like I say, daddy, but daddy, you ain't believe in me. You ain't believe that I could be the greatest athlete or one of the smartest students on campus. Well, still trying to make my daddy proud. Well, daddy, I'm the greatest motherfucking manufacturer, daddy, you ever saw in your motherfucking life. I worked at the same company you worked at, daddy, and I'm the greatest black man ever worked at this motherfucker, daddy. You can't even compare to me, daddy. So just still a child, wanting his daddy approval. Being able to take a story and a conversation and go back and sort all that type of shit out for your own life. For your own life. For your own understanding. For your own mental health. For your own mental health. Because if you don't sort this type of shit out, man, like I say, we all children that has gotten old. Even your mama and your daddy. They ain't never children that done got old. And if they ain't never sorted some type of shit out, then the same shit they ain't never sorted out, and the same shit that they ain't never dealt with, they dealing that shit on the top of your motherfucking head. So you gotta sort that shit out for you and them. So you won't be dealing that shit on your motherfucking children. See how that shit works? I'm just talking because you see how my voice going out. I told you I ain't been feeling good. But this shit make me feel good. And if I can't talk that then when I get up off this motherfucker, it was worth it, man. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man. All my cousins and family members that say they Forte, that ain't your goddamn name. Your name is Fort. And them white folk made our parents change the way they say their name at the time of integration when they damn sent the blacks over there to the whites. My daddy got integrated to Independence. He went up there to Mint Hill, found them white folk, and they say, "What's your name?" And he say, "My name Charles Fort." And that white lady told him, "Say, don't you say that no more. Your name Forte." 60 years later, it's all my family knows, Forte. That's some deep ass shit. I love you.